Hello my dear children, I am Anupama and I welcome you to Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School channel once again. Today I am here to teach you a lesson in English for grade 8. Lesson number is 4, Bepin Chaudhary's Lapse of Memory. So my dear children, we have already done with 2 sessions of this chapter. Today we will continue with the further explanation of the chapter. But before we proceed, let's recapitulate everything whatever we have studied till now. We have seen that the main character of the story, who is Bepin Chaudhary, who is also called as Bepin Babu for short. He is very kind, humble person who leads lone life, and then we even have seen that he loves to read lot of books. Every Monday he used to drop himself at New Market in Kali Charan shop, wherein he used to purchase or buy those books which would last for a week. And then all of a sudden one evening he came across a stranger whose name is Parimal Ghosh, who was completely new or probably a stranger to Bepin Babu. Probably he did not recognize with his acquaintance. But when Parimal Ghosh made him believe that he had met him for a week in Ranchi, wherein he had arranged a car and he had taken Bepin Babu to Hudro Falls. So he gave all the minute details when he had been to Ranchi in the year 1958. And then we could even see that he could tell all the intimate details what Bepin Babu's his personal life had, about his wife, about his children, about his brother. But after telling all these minute details or all these personal details or the behavior or everything, his habits, Bepin Babu was not able to recall. Probably he was sure that he had never been to Ranchi in the year 1958 nor ever in his life. Then later on, Parimal Ghosh even reminded him that when you had been to Ranchi, you were along with one of your friend, that was Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee. So probably you can get all the information from Dinesh Mukherjee also. So again Bepin Babu was quite sure that he had never been to Ranchi, so it's much better not to ask anyone. And he even did not entertain any of the things those were being told by Parimal Ghosh. Even he knew very well that in the year 1958 he had been to Kanpur to celebrate one puja. So initially when he was pondering on the thought, he just thought that he should get it confirmed once from Haridas Bakshi. But again it was reminded that Haridas Bakshi has already left to Japan with his wife a week before and he doesn't have his address. But again he thought there is no need to get the confirmation because he himself is the proof that he had never been to Ranchi. But then again next day the same thought kept on dwelling in the mind of Bepin Babu. So he thought that he should get the confirmation from one of his friends whom Parimal Ghosh told that Dinesh Mukherjee was the one who was with you, who had accompanied you. So he thought that he should get this confirmation from Dinesh Mukherjee, and when it was even confirmed from Dinesh Mukherjee that yes, Bepin, you had been to Ranchi in the year 1958. So this time Bepin started to doubt or suspect his own memory, that whether he has got with forgetfulness, whether he is going insane, whether he is losing his memory. But again he thought that it's all nonsense. Probably it is a trick, or probably it's a deliberate lie, or that's it, because he thought that he is sure that he had never been to Ranchi. So but that day when he was not at all well at work office where he was working in the office, that day, that was the first time wherein he thought that he would not continue working that day, because till now he was known as a tireless, conscientious worker. But this was the first time in his 25 years of the journey that today means that day he felt that he should stop working and go back to his house. And when he went back to his house, while he was taking a nap or he was resting, that time all of a sudden Chunni Lal, he was Bipin Babu's school friend, probably a long friend who had been with Bipin Babu from many years. So he had been coming to his house every now and then, because that time Chunni Lal was passing through rough time of his life, because he had lost his job and he was thinking that Bipin, his true friend, his schoolmate, his real friend, would help him to get the job. But because of some reason, even Bipin Babu was not helpful, or probably he was not in condition to get a new job to Chunni Lal. And so the reason he had already told Chunni Lal that he is not able to get him a new job, or probably this time he would not help him. The reason is not clear, but Bipin Babu was not in the condition to help Chunni Lal. The moment when he was resting on his bed, Bipin's servant came and passed on the message that Chunni Lal had come to visit you. Initially, Bipin Babu thought that he should ignore and he should tell that he is not able to meet him. So he passes one message to his servant saying that not only today but coming next weeks he won't be able to meet Chunni Lal. So the moment when his servant turned back, a thought came on the mind of Bipin Babu that why not to confirm once Chunni Lal that whether he had really been to Ranchi in the year 58, because he was his long time friend. He was with him since his childhood. So there is no harm to just get it confirmed once from Chunni Lal that whether he had been to Ranchi. So when the thought came, he suddenly got out from his bed and went down the stairs, and then he went to the living room. The moment Chunni Lal found that Bipin had come to meet me, Chunni was very happy. But Bipin had to have asked something different. Without wasting time, without beating a bush, he came to the main point directly. The Chunni, you have a good memory and you know everything about me, about my life incident, equally like the way I know. So can you tell me one thing, just go back in the year 1958, whether I had been to Ranchi in that year? And then all of a sudden, when this question was being asked to Chunni Lal by Bipin Babu, Chunni Lal was little shocked. And what happened next? We'll see everything. My dear children, open page number 59 in your honeydew textbook. I expect everybody is with complete attention. Hold pen or pencil in the hand and underline the difficult words as well as phrases which I'll be letting you know. Listen, Chunni, I want to ask you something. You have a good memory and you have been seeing me off and on means every time for a long time. Why for a long time? Because he is his childhood friend. Who? Chunni Lal. Just throw your mind back, means just try to recollect or recall something which I am asking you. And tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 58? So he asks this very prominent question, very valid question which he wanted to know from even Chunni Lal, that whether he had really been in the year 1958 to the place Ranchi. Then Chunni said, 58, it must have been 58, or was it 59? So the moment when this question was asked, Chunni Lal told Bipin Babu 58 or was it 59, I am not sure, but it was. So that means what? Somewhere even Chunni Lal was about to tell him that yes, you had been to Ranchi. And then Bipin Babu asked, you are sure that I did go to Ranchi? So even Bipin Babu, after getting this reply, that yeah, you had been to Ranchi, but I am not pretty sure that whether it was the year 58 or 59. So the moment when it was confirmed from Chunnilal also, he immediately asked, are you sure that really I had been to Ranchi in the year 58? Chunni's look of amazement was not unmixed with worry. So the moment when it was found, it was been discovered that yes, Bipin had been in the year 58 to Ranchi, and how come Bipin is not able to recall this prominent journey? So the reason when he looked at Bipin Babu, he was little shocked, and how it was not at all, it was unmixed with worry. That means he was completely surprised and he was even worried about Bipin Babu, that what's wrong with Bipin, why is he asking me this question? And then, do you mean you have doubt about having gone at all? And then Chunnilal asks Bipin that, are you doubting? You really don't know, you are not sure, that you have never been to Ranchi, you are doubting on that. And then Bipin Babu asks, did I go? Do you remember clearly? So Bipin Babu asks Chunnilal that, really, are you sure that I had been to Ranchi? You remember it? Are you sure about this? And then Chunni sat down on the sofa, fixed Bipin Babu with a long hard stare and said, Bipin, have you taken to drugs or something? As far as I know, you had a clean record where such things were concerned. I know that old friendships don't mean much to you, but at least you had a good memory. So the moment when Chunnilal came to know that Bipin Babu is not sure that he had been to Ranchi, and then Chunnilal starts suspecting on memory of Bipin Babu, he sits on the sofa set with complete disbelief, and completely he was worried, he was anxious, he was so much surprised with this complete reaction. And when he confirms that yes, you had been, and then he says that, Bipin, how it is possible for you, because as far as I know, throughout your life you have a good memory, and how it is that possible that this incident had hardly taken 6 to 7 years back in your life and you have forgotten that you had been to Ranchi? And then he even says that, I know that you have a clean record of everything, and he even says that, I know that old friendship doesn't mean to you. That means what? That probably today you are not paying me that much of attention, or probably you are not willing to talk to me. But that doesn't mean that you should keep on forgetting your major incidents of your life. Are you sure that it's something like you want to confirm, or have you taken any drugs? Is something wrong with you? Is there any medical problem with you? He confirms. And then he says, you can't really mean that you have forgotten about the Ranchi trip. So he says, I really don't believe, how is that possible, Bipin, that you have got good memory. You are so much, you're brilliant. You do remember each and every incident of your life, and how come then you are doubting about the trip where you had been to Ranchi and you are asking me this? Then Bipin Babu had to turn away from Chunni's incredulous stare. Now, incredulous stare means what? Something which is unbelievable. Underline this word. Incredulous means something which is you cannot believe. The moment all these questions were being asked to Chunnilal was little surprised, he was worried. And so the reason, all of a sudden when Chunni looked at Bipin Babu in this incredulous stare, Bipin Babu had to turn away from this embarrassment. And then Chunni asked, do you remember what my last job was? Asked Chunnilal. So just for confirmation, Chunnilal asked Bipin Babu that, my dear friend, do you really remember what was my last job where I had worked? Then Bipin Babu says, of course, you worked in a travel agency. So see now, my dear children, you can see here Bipin Babu is sure or he is in condition to tell or answer the correct question, correct answer that was being asked. The question was being asked by Chunni Lal to Bipin Babu that tell me my friend that which was my last job where I had worked. And immediately without wasting a fraction of a second, Bipin Babu replied saying that I do remember very well that you worked in a travel agency. Then Chunni Lal says, you remember that and you don't remember that it was I who fixed up your railway booking for Ranchi? And then he says, if you remember that I was working in a travel agency, how is that possible that you have forgotten to be into Ranchi? Because I was the one who booked you a ticket, your railway ticket, and then I had planned everything. And how come you have forgotten that? I went to the station to see you off. To see you off means to bid you goodbye. I was the one who had accompanied. I had accompanied with you. I had come with you to the station to bid you off goodbye. One of the fans in your compartment was not working. So, the booking where he had been, the compartment where Bipin was there, one of the fans in that compartment was not working. And then even he tells that minute detail also that I got an electrician to fix it. So he said that moment when the train was about to departure, before that only I got an electrician and I got it repaired for you. Have you forgotten everything? Whatever is the matter with you? You don't look too well, you know. And then he says that I was the one, I booked the ticket for you. I was the one whom I had come with you to drop you to the station. One of the fans was not working in the compartment. I got it repaired from the electrician. And how is that possible that you have forgotten everything, Bipin? I don't know what is the matter with you, but as if now you are not looking that good. You are looking something tired. You are exhausted. You are not feeling well. I don't know what is wrong with you, my friend Bipin. Chunni Lal was worried about Bipin Babu. And then Bipin Babu sighed and shook his head. Bipin Babu sighed and shook his head means because he was now doubly shocked. Because now there were three witnesses. One was Parimal Ghosh, second was Dinesh Mukherjee, and third was now Chunni Lal, his very own true friend, childhood friend. That three of them, they all confirmed that yes, he had been to Ranchi in the year 58. And when he asked Chunni Lal about all this detail, even Chunni Lal had his own things to tell, all those minute details about the compartment, about booking the ticket, about the fan and everything. So the moment when all these details were been given by Chunni Lal, his head went spin. He was completely shocked. He was going crazy. And so the reason then, I have been working too hard, he said at last. So Bipin Babu says to Chunni Lal, probably I have been working so much hard. I am exhausted completely. I am tired completely. That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist. And then he says that yeah, I am exhausted. I am so much tired. And probably I think so that I must see about consulting a specialist. Underline that line. That means may have to consult. To consult a doctor. So Bipin Babu, he himself says that probably I need to pay a visit to the doctor and get confirmed what's wrong with me exactly. Then, doubtless, it was Bipin's condition which made Chunni Lal leave without mentioning anything about a job. So looking after this current state condition of Bipin Babu, Chunni Lal thought that it's much better to leave his place without asking him about his job. And he leaves that place. Paresh Chanda was a young physician is a doctor with a pair of bright eyes and a sharp nose. He became thoughtful when he heard about Bipin Babu's symptoms. Symptoms means all this forgetfulness, that he does remember everything but he does not remember that he had been to Ranchi in the year 58. Look, Dr. Chanda, said Bipin Babu desperately, very hopelessly. You must cure me of this horrible illness. I can't tell you how it is affecting my work. So my dear children, now you can simply imagine the condition or the state through which Bipin Babu was suffering. So he requests Paresh Chanda, who was the doctor, telling that, see, this is what my condition is. I do remember everything, but I don't remember about my trip had gone to Ranchi in 58. Please do something, doctor, for this condition, because this is the thing wherein I am unable to focus or concentrate on my work also. I can't explain how much it is affecting me. And then, you know what, Mr. Chaudhary, he said, who? Doctor said, I had never had to deal means I had never come across with a case such as yours. Frankly, this is quite outside my field of experience. This is completely outside of my field means what? Something like maybe this doctor have been working as a doctor for many years, and he is the means Mr. Chaudhary's case is something unique case. So the reason the doctor even says that this is quite outside my field of experience, that means this experience like forgetfulness means what? To forget an entire episode of one's life is something very strange to know to the doctor and to get it cured. So Dr. Chanda says that I am really surprised, I have never come across such case like you. Then he says, but I have one suggestion. Being as a doctor, Dr. Chanda suggests something to Bipin Babu. I don't know if it will work, but it is worth a try. It can do no harm. And then the doctor says that, see, I have one suggestion. If you do follow, there is no harm. It is worth enough. If you try, probably it will help you to come out of this situation. And what does he suggest? We will see. Bipin Babu leaned forward anxiously. Leaned means to bend. Anxiously means nervously or with worry. So the moment when Dr. Chanda had to give some suggestion, Bipin Babu bent forward to know what is the suggestion, to understand and see if he can come out of this state. So what was the saying or what was the suggestion of Dr. Chanda? As far as I can make out means I can come across, said Dr. Chanda, and I think you are of same opinion. And he says, whatever if I'll tell you, probably after listening to me, getting to my suggestion, probably even you will come to the same conclusion or probably you will even have the same opinion. What was the opinion? You must have been to Ranchi. He says, probably if there are three people, there are three witnesses telling you that you had been to Ranchi, there are possibilities that yes, you had been to Ranchi. But now, how to get it confirmed? He says, but due to some unknown reason, the reason is still unknown because he is all the time pondering with the thought that how come he is not able to recall the journey where he had been to Ranchi. So the reason is unknown. Why this is happening with you, why you are not only able to just recall that episode, even I don't know, I cannot tell you. These symptoms or this case is completely out of my experience. So he says that even I can't tell you surely that what can be done, but I have an idea. If you had really been to Ranchi and for some reason if you have forgotten that episode or that part, that incident of your life, I'll tell you something to do. What is that? The entire episode has slipped out. Slipped out means something you have forgotten, you have missed, you are unable to recall of your mind. What I suggest is that you go to Ranchi once again. So Dr. Chanda suggests that I am with one option. You do one thing. You book one ticket and go back to Ranchi once again. Once again means what? Even Dr. Chanda was little bit sure that there are three people, those who are telling that yes, you had been to Ranchi. So hoping that even Dr. Chanda thought that you must have been to Ranchi. So I will tell you once again you go back to Ranchi. What is going to happen next? Been to Ranchi, he says that the site of the places, the site means what? what is the side scenario you'll come across. The place may remind you of your trip. This is not impossible. More than that I cannot do at the moment. I am prescribing. Prescribing is nothing but to give, to note it down. A nerve tonic and a tranquilizer. Now you can find the meaning of tranquilizer, a medicine to reduce stress and anxiety. Sleep is essential or the symptoms will get more pronounced. Pronounced means nothing but to get stronger. So he says that do one thing, Mr. Chaudhary. You book a ticket to Ranchi, go back to that place. Been over there, probably when you'll come across different sites, the sites which you had probably visited, must have seen in your life. Looking at those sites, probably you may recall, it will help you to recall your journey to Ranchi. And he suggests this thing and he says, as if now more than this I cannot do anything, but I am going to prescribe you. If, my dear children, you had been to doctor, if you are not well, and he prescribes some medicines, he write down some medicine on a sheet of paper. So he says that I'll give you a nerve tonic as well as some tranquilizers to set your memory cool down, to get relaxed. And then you can think about this option, he says. And then he leaves. And if you, one thing he tells that you need to have a good sleep, probably of 6 to 7 hours. And if you don't sleep, if you don't take proper rest, probably this symptom will get worsened. It may get more strong. Then Bepin Babu felt somewhat better the next morning, because already some medicines were been given, that is the nerve tonic and some tranquilizer. So because of that, the next morning Bepin Babu was somewhat feeling better. After breakfast, he rang up means he called his office, gave some instruction and then procured is nothing but to get, to fetch something with difficulty, and then procured a first class ticket for Ranchi for the same evening. So my dear children, what we have seen in this episode, that when the condition was getting worsen and worsen, Bepin Babu's friend, when he even showed, he confirmed that yes, he had been to Ranchi in the year 58, then Bepin thought to consult a doctor. Doctor consulted or gave him suggestion that it's much better you go to Ranchi, and probably that will help you to recall everything. And that evening itself, somehow he gets the ticket, first class ticket of train, and then he leaves to Ranchi. In next episode, we will see that whether going to Ranchi, does he really recall everything, and what happens, everything in detail in the next episode. Till the time, to take care of yourself. Bye bye everyone. Thank you.